really outdone yourself this time. You've really outdone yourself this time. I mean, but honestly, I didn't expect any less since the fan mail has been coming in one after another since RCW Mega Brawl 6 in Reading, Pennsylvania. I mean, this letter right here comes from the RCW offices. This little gem here comes from the State Athletic Commission of Pennsylvania. And this big boy right here, this one right here, comes from Maven Bentley's personal lawyer. But I didn't expect any less coming out of Mega Brawl 6. I didn't expect any less when we left Reading, Pennsylvania on that night. You see, apparently you guys don't realize it, and whether Ray Torres wants to admit it or not, he reached out to us. He wanted to put on the biggest show that RCW has seen to date, and that is why he reached out to the talent pool here in Florida, because it's like none other. But apparently you guys up there, you just don't get it. See, this isn't ballet to us. This isn't just some frilly little dance like it is to you guys. See, we fight. This is a bloodthirsty sport to us. See, down here in Florida, things are done a little bit differently. There's a lot of backhanded, backstabbing politics that happen, a lot of scratching and clawing, a lot of punching and fighting, broken bones to prove a point, to prove that you are the very best. That happens down here in Florida on a daily basis. The locker rooms are like none other down here. It's a lot like the inner cities of Pennsylvania, you know, the ones that your talent pool would never be caught dead in. But see, we deal with that on a daily basis. That is our hobby, whereas it's a nightmare for you guys up there. But see, this letter right here from the RCW offices, they reached out to Strength in Numbers. They reached out to myself, Liz, Phoenix, Hughes, and Prime, and they asked us to come up, and they begged and pleaded with us after we made our statements, and they said, please guys, just play fair, take it easy. And honestly, we had every intention to do so. We wanted to play fair. We wanted to have a good old hearty fashion wrestling match with every single one of you guys and just prove who could be the very best. But see, that just wasn't good enough for you guys, because the second we stepped foot in that locker room, you all had piercing eyes laying on us like we were some pieces of meat that you were going to prove a point at your own expense. At our expense, you were going to make examples out of us. But at the end of the night, who was the one that was throwing the party? And see, apparently you guys didn't like the little party that we had at the end of RCW Mega Brawl 6, because this letter right here, RCW has told me that due to my actions, if I show up in Reading, Pennsylvania ever again, they would strip me of my Florida championship belt, my tag team championship belt with Phoenix. But honestly, quite frankly, when I think about it, this tag team belt, well, it may mean something to some people, it doesn't mean crap to me. I've never been one to worry about championship gold. I don't hold belts in pride like other guys do. I don't hold them to prove that I'm the very best, because I don't need to prove that I'm the best. I could care less if I'm the best in this business. I'm not here to spout off and tell people that. See, honestly, I'll probably just take that belt and I'll take it to a goldsmith and I'll have him melt it down, and I'll take it to a pawn shop and I'll pawn it off for cash, because I could use the cash much more than a door prize that I would hang on the wall and tell my kids one day, hey, guess what? I was a champion of champions. See, I don't care about that. So RCW, you can take your letter, and I don't care. I don't care what you have to say. The State Athletic Commission, the State Athletic Commission gave us a warning from the get-go when we released our statements, and they said they were afraid of what we were going to do when we came up to Pennsylvania, and they told us that if we stepped foot in Pennsylvania, there would be some issues, and we had to beg and plead with you guys on the phone and tell you that we just wanted to play fair. We just wanted to come up there. And I mean, honestly, if you were to put yourself in our shoes, could you say that you would do anything differently? So State Athletic Commission, your news means absolutely nothing to me. But this one right here is the meat and bones of this entire conversation. The reason that I'm here making this statement, see, this one comes from Maven Bentley's personal lawyer himself, and it's filled with 13 pages of legal mumbo-jumbo and legalities that I quite don't understand and I could give a crap less about. It has words like warrant and subpoena and restraining order are thrown around in this a lot. But at the end of the day, at the end of the letter, when it comes down to, apparently RCW only had photos of me laying my hands on Maven Bentley, who was not a licensed wrestler at the event, who was not sanctioned to compete. He was just there to commentate for the night and manage for the night. He was there as a bystander, and apparently I'm left with two choices. I can stay at home July 12th, when Strength in Numbers returns to Reading, Pennsylvania to put the final death knell in RCW's coffin. Or I could show up. I could show up in Reading, Pennsylvania. But if I do so, I risk losing everything that I've got. If I step within 10 feet of Maven Bentley, I risk losing my very own livelihood, what I've come to know and love this entire time. The one thing that has kept me sane my entire life, the one thing that has stopped me from actually killing somebody. See, when I step in that ring and I unleash ultraviolence on the poor soul that stands across from me, that is the one thing that keeps this mind, this thing going inside of my head. And if I were to lose it, I don't know what I would do, and I've never had so much power in my hands while feeling so weak in the other. See, I'm at your mercy. And this is the first time that Jude Mackenzie will openly admit that I'm at somebody else's mercy. So I think in this instance I'm going to have to take the high road and say that on July 12th, I will abide by RCW, I will abide by the locker room, I will abide by Ray Torres, and most importantly, I will abide by the law in Maven Bentley, and I will not be in Reading, Pennsylvania, July 12th. But see, don't think for 1 minute that this war, this is another casualty in this war, because it isn't. See, because where I stand back, there's an entire line of guys here in Florida who are looking to step up to the plate, who are willing to join the cavalry in this war. So, July 12th, you have another thing coming. If you think that you're going to take Jude Mackenzie's livelihood away, you're wrong. If you think that you're going to take Sean Prime's livelihood away, you are wrong, because on July 12th, when he steps in the ring with a wrestling legend like Tito Santana, he is going to make a prime example out of him. And he's going to use striking force when he punches that smug look off the Flying Burrito's face. See, we're here to make an example now. You've pissed us off. And see, I will sit back and I will watch the war waged on. I will sit back and I will watch the war continue, proudly standing behind Strength in Numbers. But I will stand on the sidelines. There is one other thing in this letter that I didn't get to yet, and Maven, I'm not even sure if you know this, but your lawyers requested one other thing, and that was an apology. And see, I'm not familiar with apologies. It's not a word that's in my vocabulary, and I don't do very well with them, but I'm going to try my best for the sake of your lawyer and for the sake of you. See, Maven, I hope you're listening, because these words won't ever come out of my mouth again. They won't have to ever come out of my mouth again. Maven, I'm sorry. But I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry for stripping you of your pride and your stupid little bow tie, your glasses, and your cheap $2 coat. I'm not sorry for raping RCW of its dignity. I'm not sorry for Strength in Numbers proving a point. I'm not sorry for what's going to happen July 12th when Strength in Numbers puts the final death knell in the coffin of RCW. I'm not sorry for any of that. What I am sorry for, and it's quite ironic, is in the end I'm sorry that the tables are going to have to turn because you're not taking my livelihood. At the end of the day, on July 12th in Reading, Pennsylvania, Strength in Numbers is going to take away your livelihood. And there's not a damn thing that you or anybody else can do about it. And if you think you can, I dare you.